Hey there. If you want to build in public, but you don't exactly have something in mind to build, then how can you approach it and build up that muscle? My name is Kavan, and this is what we're talking about today. But first, let's look at why we're talking about this. And this is actually coming from my audience, Dixon. He sent me an email and he said, "Hey, I really like your idea of building in public. I'm still figuring out how to apply the idea. The thing is, I don't have anything that I'm building. So how can I get started?" And this is such a good question because I get it all the time. That's why I'm making a short video. So when we talk about building in public, our mind usually goes to, hey, I need to build a product, a business in public, like that thing. But if we zoom out a little bit, we look at, hey, we're building a product, but essentially, what's the goal there? The goal is to build up your voice and your presence so that you can have a community of people cheering and supporting and giving you feedback in the process. Let me give you an example. So lately, because I just launched the book, Find Joy in Chaos, it's a Twitter book. And I've been talking a lot about the ups and downs, like how I invite beta readers 10 months ago, how I designed the book cover, how I priced the product, all kinds of stuff. Even things like my book is on Goodreads now, but I failed to claim the book. I'm not the author right now. Something like that. But if you zoom out a layer, right? I am building the book in public, but essentially all this trust and credibility and relationships come back to me. So the answer is you actually don't need a product to start practicing the muscle of being in public. What I would say is the easiest way to start is something called Learn in Public. Basically, if you're doing work for a client, if you are basically working on something and you're learning, right? We're always learning. Then you can share that in public, like the thought process, the decision, the struggle. You can share that in public, and that would be a great way to start. But personally, I don't particularly enjoy learning in public. And the reason is because if you think about it, how many people would be interested in people's learning journey? Maybe just a few people. Most people are excited when they see you building a real thing and they can follow their journey and seeing that product taking shape. So my suggestion to you is try not to learn in public, but actually come up with a mini project that you can do and you can show people from day 1 to maybe day 300 how you actually execute it. And I'll give you an example as well, because that's exactly how I started. When I started end of 2020, I had no idea. I had no followers. I had nothing. But I thought, hey, I bumped into this concept called building in public, and I really love it. Like that's kind of like my life principle. So I thought, okay, maybe I can write a guide, just 9 chapters, telling people what it is and sharing whatever I'm learning. So as I learned about the topic, I started writing these threads and telling people about my research process. You can see the date, Jan 8, 2021, and you can see like nobody really cared, but I kept going, I share my research process, and then a few days later, I do a thread number 2, Jan 9 is the next day, and I just talk through the process, and you can see like no one really cared. But guess what? After 2 months, when I launch it, because I've gathered enough momentum and enough people have watched me through that 2 months, 60 days, 2,100 people read it in the first 3 days when I launch it. That's the beauty of a mini project, because people can see from the start to finish and people are excited because of that. So if you want to do something, practice the muscle, come up with a mini project. And the best way to do it is to think about the people you serve and observe what kind of questions they have and create a very useful resources like my guide here and give it to them. Because the chance of being the go-to person for this particular topic is very high if you do a good job. And that would just snowball your presence into something bigger. And at that point, maybe you have something bigger that you want to build. So this is how you build up your muscle to build in public. I hope you enjoy this and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.